Hello, I want to present to a work called a flexible evolutionary model of machine learning of the most successful strategies of human capital development. In order to assess the impact of the human capital of a company, organization, enterprise on its financial results, it is necessary that it's a quantity assessment. Since the calculation of finance indicators is mainly based on cost, it is optimal to take as a basis for the quantity assessment of the human capital cost approach, taking into account the cognitive psychology of man and reflexive relation in the system of human capital. Human capital in the modern economy is one of the most important components of an enterprise or state for economic growth. The structure of human capital cost is primarily related to staff remuneration. Of course, there are payments to employees, including wages, taxes, bonuses, incentive bonuses. Under the cost of human capital, to increase the level of intellectual capital of the enterprise means the cost of training, retraining, training of employees, participation in thematic seminar, conference, symphonias, cost of research, information and legal systems, software, literature, inclusion periodicals. The cost of health capital is an investment in a person made in order to form, maintain and improve his health and efficiency aimed at increasing the capital of the culture of possession of information. Cost of health capital is an investment in a person made in order to form, maintain and improve his health and efficiency, aimed at increasing the capital of the culture of possession of information. That is, investment in the personality mentality is an investment in the culture of the individual which determines the efficiency and accelerates the growth of human capital. Coefficients of return on investment depending of the components of human capital are characterized by cognitive properties: creativity, competence, purposefulness, communication, motivation. Between varieties in which there are appropriate reflexive relation of their interaction. Thus, the model falls in the level of the particular type of specific property of human capital and its quantitative assessment is determined. Analysis of criteria that weight allow you to choose the best alternative for the development of the property of human capital. To do this, use the method of hierarchical comparison is assigning the level of priorities of alternatives, the result of which are given in the table. The process of investing in human capital shall be divided into several stages of investing. Education costs, the cost of finding and hiring staff, staff costs during the training period, staff costs during the period of assembly, the influence of criteria on the choice of alternatives of growth potential, staff costs during the period of professionalism, staff costs during training, advancing training, staff costs in the period of decline and obsolescence of professionalism, investment in human capital for innovation in the production of intellectual capital, the cost of the individual ability to turn information into the necessary knowledge companies, the cost of information culture. Based on the science of investment in human capital, the science of the direct economy effect is carried out. Such an assessment is possible as a rule of after the implementation of any investment project involving staff. The relevance of the use of machine learning in the field of economics allows us to consider differently many aspects of human capital development strategy. Training to find the best strategy for human capital development can be represented as a continuous cycle which will end only after reaching the specified conditions. Training to find the best strategy for human capital development can be represented as a continuous cycle which will end only after reaching the specified conditions. In the reinforcement learning algorithms, the adjacent sections are directed to the steps to achieve success with a reward statement. The data in the table shows the optimization of the cost of human capital development to achieve a human capital value of 25 units. It can be concluded that in order to obtain better results in the necessary to carry out a sufficient number of training cycles. You can see how when setting the initial data, the system gives priority to the wrong criteria for investment, which have become priority in recent cycles. Taking into account the dynamics of change in results, it can be concluded that subsequent training cycles can bring more optimization costs. Figure shows the optimization of the cost of human capital development, taking into account the some level of human capital development. After training the parameters of the model, we determined the new values of the return coefficients for each type of human capital. As a result, the parameters of the alternatives that determine the planning of new investment in the human capital structure change, which entails the search and recalculation of new behavior. The training involves indicators of return of investment in the individual in the types of components of human capital which are characterized by properties, creativity, competence, purposeful communication, motivation, where between these varieties there are reflexive relationships. The main difficulty of the approach to the choice of alternative solutions for finding options for the use of human capital is the correct selection of indicators of significance of contributions to the development of types of human capital on the basis of which cycles occur of system learning. This approach can simplify the search for developments of human capital, development strategies, present alternative ways, and simplify management decisions. Thank you for attention.